Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to TipTopTabletopTips. Today we're going over the third in my series of custom 5th edition D&D classes. Today, the class on hand is Lancer from the Final Fantasy series, a long-standing thematic class from the Final Fantasy franchise. The Lancer is an armored knight known for taking flying leaps and emulating the flight of a dragon as it attacks with its polearm weapon. This was a class I was super excited to do. I made it for a player of mine. It has been tested. It is available to anybody who is interested in it. All you have to do is go to my Discord, give me a little message. I got you. I will send it right to you. It's yours. I don't charge anything for it. Nothing like that. I am required to state that I don't own the rights to anything Final Fantasy materials. They own the rights to their materials, and Wizards of the Coast owns the right to the Dungeons & Dragons franchise. I'm not claiming any ownership. I don't make a profit off of these. I'm required to state that. That's important. This is for funsies, and it is for my fans, my viewers, whatever you will, and I will send it to anybody who's interested in it. I would love to know what you think. Give me comments, give me criticisms, give me feedback. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what I did right. Tell me what I'm needing, what I'm lacking. I'm a humble dude. I would love to hear it. Moving on, starting by taking a look into the class. On the right-hand side, we are going to keep scrolling through this class document and take a look at the features individually. On the left-hand side, we are going to keep the class's leveling block open just to have a nice summary overview of what we're looking at. The Lancer, an armored knight whose fierce leaping strikes embody the dragons that inspire them. Known for using lances and polearm weapons, Lancers are well trained to be able to reach foes on the battlefield that other heavily armored heroes cannot. Dutifully studying a knightly code inspired by great dragons of old, the Lancer can sometimes channel the spirit of these dragons to empower their attacks and bolster their defenses. The Lancer is an armored character and is meant to be a bit heavier and a bit more resilient, but is also meant to be mobile. They are meant and known for their leaping strikes, flying through the air and jumping great distances where other armored heroes wouldn't have the strength or the ability to do so. Looking at their proficiencies in this small block here, we see that they can use light, medium, or heavy armor, spears, javelins, glaives, halberds, lances, and shields. They are able to have a build where they have a one-handed spear and a shield, and there's a defender build, or you could go down the road of having a heavy two-handed reach weapon, and that's a great way for them to progress as well. This is a strength and charisma-focused class. Charisma is dictating a lot of their more spiritual abilities, some of the extra elemental damages they're looking at, some of the extra feats and features that they get through the class are based on charisma. It's representative of the spirit of the dragon within them, and the main focus of this class is the strength score. Dexterity is a good, strong second and probably ties with charisma for it, but you're nitpicking at that point and there's different builds you can go. The Lancer is meant to be a tougher character, getting 1d10 hit points on a hit dice. It is not the most healthy class, but it is up there in the higher ranks. And the skills that they choose from are acrobatics, athletics, history, intimidation, and persuasion. They are a spirited character, but they are not meant to be the most skilled. They leave more delicate matters to the rogues, to the rangers, to the other people in the party. Scrolling through to take a look at their level 1 features, we're going to see that they get fighting style and leaping strike at level 1. So at level 1, they're getting a fighting style option similar to and partially derived from the fighter from D&D. You're adopting a particular fighting style as your specialty. You're choosing one of the following options. They have 3 unique options as fighting styles. There is a Fierce Talon fighting style, where once per round while in combat, you're going to add your charisma modifier to the damage with any attack made with a Lancer weapon. There's an extra little bit if you crit. There is a Diving Wing fighting style, where when you're using a spear and a shield, you're going to gain 1 shield bonus extra AC from your shield. That is your defender build choice. And then there is a Frightful Drake option, where once per short rest while in combat, you're going to force an enemy you hit with a lancer weapon to roll a con save or become frightened. So there is a charismatic, frightful presence option. There's a defensive diving wing option that's a bonus to AC, and there's a fierce talon fighting option where you're getting a little extra damage with a lancer weapon. Those are the fighting style choices for lancer at level 1. Moving on, we have leaping strike. This is going to be one of the core features of lancer. It's going to give them a lot of their flavor. Anybody who, harkens back to Final Fantasy IX or Final Fantasy Tactics, you're going to see a lot of inspiration from those characters in this concept. I'm fairly certain it goes back much further than that. I believe into Final Fantasy V or VI as a Dragoon, but comment on the video, correct me, tell me where I'm going wrong, because I'm not sure exactly where they came into play. Leaping strike. Lancers, also known as Dragoons or Dragon Knights, specialize in a style of knighthood that emulates the grandiosity and presence of dragons. They are especially known for their leaping strikes, jumping amazing heights and distances to strike their foes. Lancers are able to jump beyond their speed with a jump action as long as they aren't suffering any mobility impairing effects. A number of times per short rest, equal to their dexterity modifier, they may activate their leaping strike to reduce the damage they receive from falling damage by their dexterity score plus their lancer level. This ability may only reduce fall damage they receive from a purposeful, willing leap that they initiate. Important here. So this feature, to clarify, is similar to a monk's feather fall, reducing fall damage, but in this case, they can only apply it to leaps that they make as part of an attack. This is the way that the lancer is leaping great distances, going beyond their speed, maybe dropping great heights, doing all of this in medium or heavy armor, and not breaking all of their bones on impact. They have a special ability that they train for, that they practice, and that they specialize in that allows them to make great leaping strikes with their polearm weapons. This is also to embody the dragons that they try to stylize their combat upon. At 6th level, 13th level, and 19th level, these abilities are going to get better. You're going to jump farther, you're going to add damage to it, you're going to be able to double your jump on 1 per short rest leap. There's stuff to go over there, but I try to not get tripped up on every little detail. So moving on to level 2. Level 2, you're going to get Heavy Thrust. Heavy Thrust is a very cool Lancer ability. It is powerful. It is the feature you're going to get at level 2 Lancer. Taking a look at what it does, starting at 2nd level, Lancers learn to utilize their weapons to strike at foes that would normally be out of reach. Once per short rest, you may extend the reach of a Lancer weapon attack you make by 5 feet, and on a hit, the target suffers a -2 penalty to AC until the end of its next turn. At 9th and 17th level, you may use this feature 1 extra time per short rest. So to summarize and clarify, Heavy Thrust is an attack that extends its reach, and if you hit, you're reducing the AC of the target for a short amount of time. It's going to be a powerful attack. It's going to add on to the things that Lancer is doing when they're making their leaping strike, and they're adding fall damage to their polearm attacks with their leaping strikes. They can heavy thrust with a leaping strike on occasion, and it's going to be a very powerful attack. Moving on to level 3 for our Lancer class, we're going to get the Lancer archetype. Just as any other class I make for D&D 5th, I have 3 fleshed out archetypes. I like to make sure you guys have a choice in those to keep these classes enticing to play like the other classes. So here in the Lancer archetypes, we start with Polearm Master. A Polearm Master Lancer is the penultimate practitioner of combat with reach weapons, dedicating his life to the art of combat. At 3rd level, he's treating all reach weapons you wield as magic for overcoming damage reduction. At 7th level, you have advantage against disarming effects with reach weapons, and if you become disarmed, you deal your unarmed damage plus your charisma modifier damage to your disarmer. So you have an ability where if people try to disarm you and they fail, or if they succeed, you're going to get a free unarmed attack against them. To not trip up over every little ability, you're going to get better crit range with your pole arms, you're going to get extra damage with your pole arms, and then eventually, once per long rest, you're going to be able to make a attack you hit with an automatic critical hit. And so what this polearm master is doing is they are focusing in on the reach weapon aspect of this class. They're increasing its crit threat range, they're adding damage to it. They're going to be the master polearm user, the focused practitioner of that type of combat. The second archetype for our Lancer class is going to be the Dragon Soul. A Dragon Soul Lancer opens his spirit to the draconic spirits watching over him, and they bless him with the spirit of a dragon. At 3rd level, you're going to gain the Dragonborn Draconic Heritage feature, including the breath weapon and the elemental resistance from the Dragonborn feature. Specifically, if you're already a Dragonborn, you're going to get a second one. Super cool. If you go super thematic and you make a Dragonborn Lancer, goes right hand in hand. This will improve at 7th, 10th, 15th, and 18th like the others. You're going to start to get to add elemental damage to an attack. You're going to get a bonus to persuasion and intimidation checks while emulating like your dragon nature. Once per long rest, you're going to get to add extra elemental damage to a leaping strike when you leave your jumping space, kind of creating an impact upon leap. And then at 18th level, you're going to gain immunity to the damage of your heritage type, and receiving damage of that type instead will grant you temporary HP equal to your charisma modifier. You become so in tune with your Dragon Soul elemental type that you start to absorb it, and it empowers you. That is the focus of the second Lancer archetype. Moving on to the third Lancer archetype, we have Winged Defender. This is the defensive, tanky version of a Lancer. If you decide to go that route and you focus in on using a one-handed spear and a shield, the Winged Defender Lancer uses wings bestowed upon him to guard and aid his allies, becoming a swift airborne guardian. Once per short rest, you're going to sprout wings as a bonus action to gain a fly speed equal to your speed, but you have to end the movement on solid ground or fall at the end of the movement. So a temporary little flight, only to go your speed, but it's something. As you continue further through this archetype, you're going to activate your Magic Wings ability and gain a bonus to AC from it. Then you're going to, once per short rest, be able to jump in front of an attack that your ally would be hit by. You're then going to start granting your allies bonuses to saves, and at 18th level, your Magic Wings ability now lasts up to a minute, and you do not need to land between flights, finally achieving the ability to truly fly. The idea of this being a flying protector, this would go great with Paladin. It just screams cool Paladin, cross-classing. As we continue going through the class at level 4, you're going to get an ability score increase or a feat, just like most of the classes in D&D 5th. Some of them have them at different levels, but I've been sticking with a theme and giving them at level 4 and every 4th level thereafter. Moving through the Lancer class block at this point, you are just watching all of these feats and features we've discussed get better. Your extra attack is getting better, leaping strike is improving, your heavy thrust is improving. You do wind up with an elevation mastery ability that is going to allow you to move your speed while climbing. And then as you continue through, the only other unique feature that Lancer is going to get is going to be right at level 20. And it doesn't matter what archetype you go through, this is a pinnacle ability that you will get when you reach that level in this class. It is called Dragon Whisker. When the Lancer achieves level 20, their bond with their weapon becomes that of a dragon and its own whiskers. The Lancer weapon that the Lancer equips have their critical hit threat increased by 1 step. They are always considered magical weapons for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. They can be returned to the Lancer's grasp with a spoken word bonus action, and they deal an extra amount of elemental damage equal to the Lancer's charisma modifier. This is just an ability that fully pumps up that Lancer's weapon it makes sure that you can return it to your hand, you can throw it, you are always treating it as a magic weapon for overcoming damage reduction, no matter where you get it, no matter what Lancer type weapon you pick up at what time. That would be the final and level 20 ability. The rest of the class is just progressing through the archetypes and watching these leaping strikes get better. So there you have it. For all of my viewers that stay with me for this 15-minute video, I cannot express enough how much gratitude I have. I am always humbled by anything that I get, views and interaction. Feel very free to comment on this. Tell me what you think of it. Tell me if you want to use it. Tell me stories about using it. All you got to do is hop over to my Discord, and I'm happy to send it right to you. This is an open material that I'm happy to just share with everybody as part of my channel. As always, guys, happy gaming. Thanks for all of your interaction, and again, a happy new year to you all.